Hey everybody, this is Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thought Flash. And I thought today we'd talk a little bit of philosophy and a little bit of practice management. Try to give you guys some good ideas on how to apply it. I cannot stress the importance of philosophy in the mind of the practitioner, the mind of the chiropractor. The philosophy really gives us the why, and I think the passion of what we do as chiropractors. The science will give you certainty. I call it armor and ammunition. You know, I think getting to work and getting excited and being motivated and maybe just getting out of bed in the morning to go to work, maybe that's the philosophy, and that's where the passion, the excitement come from. But when you're at work, when you talk to people, when you communicate to people, when you are explaining things to people, not even the content of the information that you explain, but really your demeanor, your phrasing, your state greatly affects how well you're able to influence other people. And simply put, you got to own it to sell it. And we are in the field, if you will. Unfortunately, chiropractors are still in the field of selling chiropractic. I have a lot of guys call me, ladies call me, and say, geez, I'm so sick of selling chiropractic. Well, I'm going to tell you straight out, then don't be a chiropractor, because go be an orthodontist. I always use that example in my seminars because a parent will bring their child to an orthodontist. I mean, they already did their tooth screening. You don't see tooth screenings in the mall for kids. The orthodontist go, well, let me look at your teeth here. Let me put a scan on there. Let me put a camera in there. Here, let me do an impression. They don't do that. I mean, just as a simple parent, you can look at your kids and go, geez, they don't look so good. I need to go to an orthodontist. And the idea of what an orthodontist does and how it affects the teeth and how it straightens them, I don't really think most people fully understand the mechanics, the physiology that occurs in the mouth and in the ligament to a tooth in straightening a child's teeth. But they're 100% willing to go through the process for 2 or 3 years and spend $5,000 a whack to have their kids' teeth look good. Chiropractors, we don't have that luxury. We have to do screenings. We have to do outside talks. We have to do lunch and learns. We have to do informational talks. You have to get out there and explain and educate, because we are in a very sick society, and the paradigm in which we operate, and I say we, I mean America, and an allopathic model, has created one of the sickest societies on planet Earth in the history of mankind. And what is it you choose to do? Do you choose to accept that and just go for a few crumbs, backaches and neck aches and so forth? Or do you really want to make a difference? If you don't want to make a difference, that's okay. I mean, then that's your degree. I think you're wasting a lot of your time, and it's unfortunate that there's a lot of people who are going to die because of that. But if you're one of those people that maybe don't know what to do, but certainly sense anyways that there's a greater calling for you and that there's a greater purpose for your life, maybe you don't sense it. Maybe you would like that to be the case. Regardless of what the situation is, there is a whole world of sick people out there to change their lives. And chiropractic, when we use that, I think we so often get hung up, at least some critics on chiropractic get so hung up on the adjustment. That the adjustment is gonna change the world, and it will. I don't mean to minimize that, but the real gift that BJ left us, and that was discovered by Dee Dee, wasn't so much the adjustment. It was the philosophy. It was the paradigm. It was an enormous shift, as pivotal as us back in the 1400s discovering the world was round rather than flat. It changes everything even though if you will, your day-to-day may not change directly, it still changes everything. The idea that there exists within you an innate intelligence that has been nurtured for eternal years, billions, gazillions of years, that have probably with no beginning, that has developed a liver cell or an eye cell or a skin cell or what have you, and that the amount of intelligence and coordination that exists just at the simple cellular level is almost difficult to even comprehend. And that exists and resides in all living tissue. And it is always trying to make the body healthy, always trying to adapt. And that's really the gift that BJ and Dee Dee gave us. Because once you understand that, now you're operating from a position of trying to nurture or improve that, rather than a treatment model. The treatment model is, I'm going to put my hands on somebody, I'm going to manipulate them or crack them, or if you want to use the word adjust, in an effort to get rid of pain, as opposed to the opposite, where you're dealing with the paradigm of innate, where you're saying, I don't care if they hurt or not, I don't care if there's symptomatology or not, I don't care if there's disease, sickness, or illness or not. I'm working at a level before the body has even gotten sick. I'm working at a level to ensure that the body never gets sick, or so that the body definitely operates the way it's supposed to. So any blockage of innate is really the paradigm or the philosophy that Dee Dee and BJ brought forth. Obviously, as a chiropractor, your job primarily resides in the removing of blockages that are mechanical to the nervous system, because that's the life force, life source. So in my final closing minutes here, how do you apply that to practice? Well, first, read, as I've told you guys for years now, BJ, Dee Dee, Fred Barge, Life Without Fear, and Rob Sinnott's new book, which you talked about last week, which is on chiropractic philosophy. Really get around that. I love that Francis Bowen quote, where the body is not an organism, but an intelligence served by organs. I mean, that's BJ all the way. So knowing that, when you go into the office to adjust people, start speaking in terms that relate the body to an organ system. That there's an intelligence served by organs. So when I adjust you, just when you adjust somebody, your liver is going to work better. Your pancreas, Bob, that area goes to the pancreas. That area goes to the gallbladder. That area goes to the prostate gland. That area, whether they're hurting or not, isn't what your motivation is. You're going to adjust that area, and then you're going to tell them, Bob, that adjusted well. The nerves that go out of that vertebrae actually go to the pancreas, so that area is going to work better. Get in the habit of starting to talk in those terms. Get in the habit of starting to use words like significant, or that you're concerned, or that it's serious, that it's something that you and the member of your practice, patient, what have you, whatever your comfort level in describing people that come into your office, that they have. If you don't think it's serious, then you need to really start hanging up or printing out scientific articles that relate to loss of spinal curves and scoliosis, right from the Windsor Autopsies to the Journal of Geriatrics, Journal of Spine, and so forth. Go to Dan Murphy's site, free stuff. He's got a lot of great stuff in there, danmurphy.com. But you need to really immerse yourself in that science and in the philosophy so that you start to speak in terms that the patient can relate to. Always, I think in closing here, always adjust somebody and show value by relating that the adjustment, whether they hurt or not, has an improvement of the nervous system. And that doesn't mean power on. That means, hey, Bob, now the messages can flow through that area better to that particular body part. It'll dramatically change the value of your service, both in the minds of the patients and the people that they affect outside of your practice. Listen, guys, this has been Dr. Joe Borio with this week's Thought Flash. May your innate flow from above down. Have a great week. Serve as many people as you can. And I'll talk to you guys next week.
My best friend gave me the best advice. He said each day